in the face of Sweden's worst ever mass shooting, a quiet dignity.
So in this other vision, I saw two angels. I never knew they were angels, they were men. So I was standing and I saw these two men. They stood in the land of Sweden and they were talking with each other. And when they spoke, the move came to a place that looks like a border. And one of them stood at the border, and I realized that the border that this this man was standing, was the border to enter into Italy. And the other one was standing in the nation of Sweden. So the one that was moving towards Italy, he stood and he prophesied to the nation of Italy. And when he prophesied, he spoke certain words which was also written in the Holy Scripture. And the word was, he was prophesying to the nation, speaking of the judgment of God. Then the word that this man said, he said, but the widows will be preserved. That was the word. And when he said this word, he stepped into the nation of Italy. Now, this one that was standing in Sweden, he turned around and he spoke certain words which I do not understand. And when he said that, I saw him removing a weapon, a gun. And when he removed guns, I saw him shooting. And I saw a lot of chaos, and I saw a lot of police cars from Sweden, and I saw a lot of chaos with weapons. And this is what happened. I ran to my home, to my wife and my kids, and I used my hand to shield them, and I said, the Lord will preserve us. And I keep hearing shooting and siren and so on. Now, in another vision, which the Lord revealed to me, all this was 2017.
Established the motive behind the deadliest mass shooting in the country's history. The Prime Minister, Ulf Kristersson, said many questions remained unanswered. At least 10 people were killed at an adult education college in the city of Örebro on Tuesday. The gunman was among the dead. The motive for the violence is unclear, with police saying they think the attacker acted alone. Graham Satchell reports.
Late into the night, police were still at the school in Sweden as they investigate how and why so many here lost their lives. This footage, shown on Swedish television, appears to show the attacker making his way through the building, although we haven't been able to verify it. Whoever took these pictures is clearly terrified and runs for their life. This resident nearby was filming on her phone when the attack started. Inside the building, students took refuge under their desks. The shooting started at lunchtime at an education centre for adult learners. Police were on the scene within minutes, but it took some hours before the building was made secure and students could be escorted away safely.
A guy next to me was shot in the shoulder. He was bleeding a lot. When I looked behind me, I saw 3 people on the floor bleeding. Everyone was shocked. They said, "Get out, get out."
As word began to spread that something horrific was happening, parents tried desperately to keep in touch with their loved ones.
We texted each other for over 2.5 hours, and she came to school 5 minutes before the whole thing and has been very scared. She saw blood, and the teachers were good at helping them, bringing them in and locking the door.
Police have said they don't believe this attack is terror-related and that the shooter, who's believed to be among the dead, acted alone. Sweden has one of the highest rates of gun crime in the European Union, blamed largely on gang rivalry. At a local church, families have been gathering, waiting for news. The dead have not yet been identified.
Of course, people are very upset what has happened here, and people who lives here and go to school at Risbergska. So we try to help them to communicate with their relatives and give them support.
Sweden is now coming to terms with what the Prime Minister here has described as the worst mass shooting in its history. Graham.
About, particularly to Sweden, about the increase of gun violence. But this time, which was yesterday, the 9th of December, the Lord showed me by reminding me what he spoke to us a couple of years ago about the increase of gun violence in Sweden. But this time around, he revealed to me specifically how it's going to look like in the coming years. That what we have seen so far is nothing compared to what is coming ahead. Because he showed me accurately the kind of weapon, one, that will be made available in the hands of the civilian, the citizen. How comes they come across such a weapon? I have no idea. But I saw specifically the kind of weapon that will be made available in the hands of men. Secondly, I saw that this violence that has been in the past years is most committed. Now, please try to understand me. I'm speaking accurately on what I saw. From the past years, the Lord showed me that this violence will be caused more by foreigners, because the Lord said he wants to speak to Sweden because they have not listened to the genuine prophet in the past. The warning he gave to them, that they have turned away from the genuine way of serving the Lord. So he said, since they have not listened to the prophet of the land, he's going to bring strangers to speak to them, not as a prophet, but to chastise them. And this chastisement was to bring in foreigners that will come both good and bad. And the bad will bring so much violence in the nation. They will alter the peace that has been in the nation, and they will make the nation look like a place where there is no law and where there is no governance. So that's what he showed me accurately. And the last thing he revealed to me was this, why I was prophesying to the people, because there were people around me when I was speaking this word, reminding them of the past prophecy and the present prophecy, which was revealed to me immediately when I was talking to them. And the last thing was this, that the Lord said. He said that the police of Sweden, because of the increase of violence, they will not know what to do, but they will go and search for the ancient prophecy. Now, this is the exact word the Lord spoke, that the police will go back because of the increase of violence to search on the ancient prophecy. Personally, I have no idea about any ancient prophecy. So this, I believe, me and my brother Oscar, we are going to meditate on God's presence to know what is this ancient prophecy. Is it a prophecy that has been given to Sweden for many years back? Maybe 50 years back? I have no idea. Is it an ancient prophecy from the Bible that relates to Sweden? I don't know. Is it a prophecy that the prophet has given to the nation in the past years, maybe 10 years ago? I don't know. But the Lord said the increase of violence will prompt the police to go and search for ancient prophecy.
Which there's actually, I believe there's been 27 of them so far in the beginning of the year, and now something like this. It was only just a few days ago that the Swedish Prime Minister admitted that his government had lost control over this wave of violence sweeping the country. He told reporters then, Sweden is in the midst of a new wave of violence. It's primarily the bombings that are increasing, with almost one occurring every day. adding, "It's abundantly clear that we do not have control over this wave of violence. Otherwise, we wouldn't be here." This, of course, is opening up a lot of concerns for people inside of Sweden. Many people believe that the government is not doing enough from stopping things like this from happening.
So that was what he revealed to me in the past. But this time around, it will not be only foreigners that will have possession of weapons. It will be also the native of the land. I saw them also. They will have sophisticated weapons. And I believe this weapon that came to their hand, it is because of the violence that the foreigners have brought into the land, the strangers and the dealing that they have, that it will cause them, it will push them to go out to equip themselves to resist what the people from outside have brought in. And this will lead to so much violence like how we see in the United States.